Today is October 9th and the time is 6:31 and we are starting our CEC District 28 calendar meeting. Just want to thank everybody for taking the time out to come out tonight. We know you could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here because you love our community as much as we do. I also want to just let the parents know that we hear you and we are listening and we're fighting for you. And I just want to thank our council members for all the work that you've been doing behind the scenes. I see you. We appreciate you. The community appreciates you because we have such a wonderful district and a wonderful council that even though we have one meeting a month, we're doing things every day to make sure that we continue to thrive and be great. Just want to say thank you for all that you do. Now, Spanish interpreters, if you can please announce yourselves and put your information in the chat as well.
Good evening, this is the message for Spanish interpreting. Buenas tardes, para interpretación en español, por favor llame al número de teléfono 347-966-4114 y entre el código 214-772-593, símbolo numeral. Nuevamente, ese número de teléfono para interpretación en español es 347-966-4114 y va a entrar el código 214-772-593, símbolo numeral. Esta información también se la pusimos en el chat. Le pedimos que por favor al entrar a la línea que silencien el micrófono de su teléfono para evitar ruidos de fondo. Gracias. Spanish announcement complete.
Thank you. And can our recording secretary, Chantel, please do the roll call?
Yes. First Vice President, Lauren Clavin. Here. Second Vice President, Jennifer Sobers. Not here yet. Recording Secretary, Chantel Chambers is here. Treasurer, Alicia Bauer.
Here.
Members, Lou Zhao. Absent. Dean Tolbert. Absent. Annie Koch.
Present.
Amin El-Ghomi, absent. Kenya Townsend.
Present.
And President Quentin Mezitin.
Present. I want to ask now, Vice President Lauren, to make the announcement about the chat.
Certainly. Just give me a second.
Good evening and welcome to our October calendar meeting. The chat is now open. Please remain kind and respectful, especially while in disagreement. We will not accept hateful comments and will close the chat if participants don't adhere. To make a public comment, please just type your name and the word speak in the chat and you'll be able to sign up until 8 p.m.
Thank you. And let's see, if Annie and Alicia, if you guys don't mind to just monitor the chat and then just jot down who put speak so we can have that order.
Sure, no problem.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, I'm not going to go with a long presence report, but there's a couple of things that happened recently that I just want to shed some light on. We lost a couple of students, not just in our district, just in the community. And one of them hit close to home. It was a young boy that was a part of gun violence that happened on Linden Boulevard. That was actually the cousin of our FACE representative, Tamika. And it was really hard just for our district to just know that and just like embrace that hurt with her. And it's something that, you know, as a parent, that's nothing that any of us want to hear ever, that our child was in a situation that they didn't come home because of something like that. So, you know, our hearts went out to her and her family due to that. And then recently, subway surfing, two girls lost their lives. And it's just like, as parents, we just got to make sure we're doing our job, communicating with our children, as much as we can, letting them know we love them and letting them know to be safe. It's not worth the risk for a little adrenaline. And we can only do what we can do. So just do the best as you can and just know that we're behind you as a district, as a community, because when one child is hurt and one family is hurt, we're all hurt. And we're all wondering, not wondering, but just knowing that we want to do better. And however we can do better, we strive to do. So I just want to throw that out there. And one thing I want to point on, it's our recording secretary's birthday today. And she chose to still come out here and celebrate. So I just want to shout out, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Thank you.
She's just getting younger. Awesome. Now on our agenda, we're actually I'm going to introduce our first presenter, Dr. Ellen Hagopian. Please, just tell, like, you're bringing so much value. I just want you to come and share what we already want to know. But thank you for showing up and appreciate what you're about to present.
Thank you so much, Principal Quinton. I just want to start by saying I am deeply sorry for the loss of those three students. There are no words to describe it, and I just wanted to share that with the community. Yeah. So thank you so much for inviting me. My name is Ellen Hagopian. I am the director of the Queens Cancer Center. I'm a liver, pancreas surgical oncologist, and am really excited that I was invited here tonight. I've been working with President Quinton and others in the community on some new initiatives around anti-vaping or an anti-vaping curriculum for our children. And I'm here tonight to talk to you a little bit about the things that we're doing and just a little bit of background. Now, I hope everyone can see my slides. Okay, excellent. So again, thank you so much for the invitation to the community panel. Okay. So the first question is, so why is vaping important? Why is all of this important? Rather obvious that there are many troubles here. Nicotine, lots of nicotine in in vaping, and nicotine really harms the developing brain. It affects memory, it affects learning, mood, and impulse control, and really affects our kids. Our kids are the most vulnerable, and kids and our young adults. Even occasional vaping can create long-term addiction. And 1 in 7 kids of our New York City students report vaping. Now, while there has been a decrease in smoking, there has been a rise in vaping. You see that there are 14% of New York City high schoolers vape, and that's in comparison to only 4% who smoke cigarettes. And this is, I think, really important, is that 77% of young adults who vape never smoke cigarettes. Very important information. And lastly, that the youth and young adults who vape experience depression at higher rates than those who don't vape. And so these are some statistics showing you the difference in vaping and not vaping, these incidences across our youth 13 to 17 and ages 18 to 24. So there are lots of health impacts on our youth. So vaping is what are e-cigarettes, and essentially the vaping is a heated liquid that actually vaporizes into an aerosol that is then inhaled in the lungs. And in many ways, it's even worse than smoking. The liquid contains nicotine, it contains heavy metal, and it also contains toxic chemicals. And manufacturers make this very attractive to kids and to young adults, and actually masquerade them, the devices, to look like USB drives, pens, or other cosmetic items. And so what are the impacts? What are the health impacts? So nicotine addiction, the vaping, the toxins in the vaping affects brain development. It causes anxiety. It causes poor focus. Lungs, quite obviously, it affects the lungs. Those heavy metals into the lungs cause chemical irritation. And then also there are behavioral impacts, mainly secondary to the effects on the brain. There are impacts on students' performance in school with academic decline and sometimes even withdrawal. So I'm sure that many of us know this, or many of you know this, that the law in New York is that flavored vaping products have been banned in New York ever since 2020. And despite that ban, 56% of inspected retailers were found to have still been selling flavored products. And these flavored products directly impact and are targeted toward our kids. And the violations, and this is very disturbing, the violations are the highest in neighborhoods with more young residents. And this is just a graphic to show how overall 56% of retailers that have been in violation have younger adults in their communities. And so community partnerships are really vital to enforce these laws, laws that were created to protect our kids and other young adults. So what are the signs and what are the reasons for kids to use these products? Well, first off, how to recognize this? Well, sense of sweet or fruity odors may indicate that kids are using vaping. In school, frequent bathroom breaks or secretive behavior, carrying USB-like devices or smart cartridges, irritability amongst kids. And these are some of the reasons why students reported using vapes. And this is really very shocking: to calm down or to manage my stress. I think that that's very reflective of the stresses our kids nowadays are really under. It's the stress to perform, etc. It's just so it's heightened amongst our kids now. Secondly, because I enjoy them, also because of peer pressure, because my friends use them. And so the reasons why kids vape are really complex. And, in order to address this really requires a multi-pronged approach. And this is good news that, 8 in 10 kids have actually want to either stop, or a lot, or a little. So about 52% of students who vape, when surveyed, indicated that they wanted to somewhat decrease, or they really wanted to a lot decrease. 23% a little. So I think that this is actually really good news, because the kids want to stop. And there are ways that we can help. All three of these contacts are all directed toward kids. So what can we do at home? Talking to kids, outrightly, and I'm sure that all the parents here do that and setting those expectations. Yeah, at school, we can integrate vaping into the curriculum, and as a community, we can partner with various community programs, houses of worship, youth leaders, and this wonderful collaboration that the Queens Cancer Center has developed with the schools is really quite wonderful. So I just want to talk for a minute about what we're actually working on. Um, I had through some of our contacts, or our folks at Queens Hospital had contacted President Quinton and others to pilot an educational program, and this is what we're building with the Edward K. Ellington School with Principal Signal and her group. We're starting with a needs assessment that we're sending to the students and to the parents, just to see where they're at in terms of what they know, what they don't know, what is their understanding, and are they vaping, right? Have they seen it? We would like to have some time with the parents to find out a little bit more about their viewpoints. And this then leading to a student assembly, which I've built a team of physicians and nurse practitioners and advanced practice providers at Queens to deliver an interactive talk with really, we want to target the fourth and fifth graders about vaping, and then have some sort of follow-up. And a lot of this is in development. So I also wanted to bring to your attention, and if you've got your phones and you want to pull out your phones and scan this QR code, this is actually a report by New York City Vital Signs, where you can find a lot of good information about vaping, and what some statistics, things that we can do, and some of the support that the mayor's office is offering for kids and for young adults. Um, and here is you've got your phones out and you want to scan the second QR code. These are actually this is a series of flyers that the city has put together. Maybe you already have access to them, and you've already seen them, and you already have them up in your schools. But this is a series of flyers that specifically are addressing vaping in our youth. And if you didn't get those QR codes, I certainly can share them with Principal Quinton and get them to you. So I am happy to take any questions. I just really want to thank all of you for your attention. And I look forward to, hearing folks' thoughts.
Okay, do we have any questions in the chat? Not as yet.
And I'm sorry if I took too long. I'm sorry.
Great. So thank you again, Dr. Hagopian, for coming. And if anybody has any questions, we do have the slides, and we will forward them to Dr. Hagopian for her to answer. So thank you again for showing up.
Just a question.
We have one question.
Okay, great.
Did you come out to schools and share this information?
Not yet. Like I said, we have been working with Principal Quinton, others in the community, also notably Principal Signal at the Ellington School, and we're going to pilot, we're developing an educational program. We're going to pilot it in one school, but we have not made our rounds around the schools, not yet. Thank you.
You have another question. If you could put your contact information in the chat. Any other possible
Of course,
pilot?
of course,
Awesome.
of course.
All right. Well, thank you again for that informative presentation. And it's something that's really hitting home with all the shops that we've been advocating to not be so close to the schools and stuff. So it aligns with what we stand for as a district to keep our families safe and healthy as well. So thank you again, Dr. Agopian. We appreciate your time and we will stay in touch.
Thank you so much. I
Next,
appreciate
I
everyone's
would
time.
like to bring up our esteemed Dr. Blake, our esteemed superintendent, Dr. Blake. Please tell us what's been going on.
Just want to say good night to everyone and welcome to the families, the parents, and especially the leaders as well as school leaders, the principals. So just to say good afternoon, welcome to tonight's presentation. Could you forward the slide? As District 28, we are committed to the whole idea of diversity and advocacy for our students. As we said before, in our community, we celebrate our differences because we understand that differences ought to be celebrated. And of course, we welcome everybody in our community. We commit to striving for the inestimable contribution to the lives of all our scholars. So that's a mission that is being partnered by the community and especially by the families. So I want to thank you very much for really using our mission to drive the things we do in District 28. Thanks. Next slide, please. I just want to, Raj, could you move the slide forward? Yes, this whole idea of safety. So just want to let you know that we are alert and we are aware of some safety issues in our community, as President Quinton mentioned before. He alluded to that. We are taking strong actions. For example, tomorrow is going to be a very, very important meeting in Queens community for all the superintendents and school personnel along with the NYPD to have a real discussion about things that are affecting our youth, crime and violence, it's really affecting our youth in the community. So we'll be having a big meeting tomorrow at Martin Van Buren High School to see if we could strategize to really put front and center our young people who are being affected, primarily or predominantly the high schools, but we are community schools, we are entire community, so we'll be meeting on tomorrow afternoon from 4 to 6 at Van Buren High School with the NYPD, with DOE to see how we could try to really put this front and center because safety is our number one priority. Without the kids being safe, then there's nothing at all they can do to learn. So this is very important. So thank you very much. Could you advance the slide? Right, so as I said, the priorities are about improving outcomes in math and literacy, and we did both the last time. That we're proud to say that the district has seen improvements in ELA and math. It's not so much to the public as yet, but it's open up to the, just want to let you know, to the school community, the DOE and the NYPD. But of course, I'm pretty sure if anybody were to turn up for that meeting, you would not be turned away. But we're trying to look at it as a school community first, and then we could put our heads together. There's also going to be the 28th, a meeting with parents and families will be invited to. I think I sent out that email today. Quinton is also a member of that for the CEC. So we'll be putting our heads together to deal with those issues. So let's go back to number 1 and 2, the priorities around mathematics, to try to implement a research-based curriculum. The research-based curriculum where, we can get outstanding achievements in math as well as ELA. And of course, number 3 is to work on reducing the chronic absenteeism, which is plaguing our district. I want to thank the families that the attendance look very, very good. The record looks good and will continue to do so. And also parental engagement. I've been really welcoming parents, especially this week in my office, as we escalate and, try to solve several issues. So I'm very open up to parent engagement, and I encourage that practically the parents who have been meeting with me for the last week would have confirmed that. Thanks. Next slide, please. So this was from the New York City Chancellor School, the state of the school. Recently we had our state of the school where we had some updates, keeping students safe and well. As I said before, they have launched the anti-bullying and anti-vaping efforts, and the presentation fits right in that, in over 1,600 schools, expanded school-based mental health clinics and staff mindfulness training. The chancellor spoke about reducing chronic absenteeism. I just spoke about that. Supporting great teaching is really one big thing we had today. Our district schools, all the 36 principals were brought into Manhattan to talk about New York City reads, how we can really help our students to really be better, learners or quicker learners. We have trained more than many educators in literacy and autism support. And of course, we are proud to talk about District 28 is one of 5 districts who got this inclusive learning training around autism. We'll speak more about that. And the goal is for the city to hire 6,300 new teachers to enhance and also to training for paraprofessionals. And of course, we're partnering with families and communities to really be ambassadors, to really help out, because family connectors are very important to partner with us as we try to educate our youngsters. Next, so those are the big State of the Chancellor School address. Those are some of the nuggets that I have framed from that to share with the community. Next slide, please. So District 28, let's look at it specifically, right? Our district, we're partnering with schools for student success. Our district team has deployed, it's like a military term, to directly support schools, right? Based on in-depth data review and school requests for support. This targeted approach ensures that our resources are aligned with each school's unique needs, allowing us to build capacity where it's needed most and accelerate student outcomes. So we have interventionists, reading interventionists. We have coaches, very limited in number, but we're trying to target those schools that need the based on unique needs. We're servicing the schools. Next slide, please. So what are some of the highlights? Learning Technology Grant with New Visions. Our second year we have been awarded this grant to advance literacy skills via the utilization of technology, which is a big thing. This initiative empowers students to engage with digital tools, kind of technology, that enhance reading. These tools enhance reading, writing, and critical thinking as we prepare students for a tech-driven world. We have some RESO grants as well, distributed to schools for capital and technology improvements given by our elected officials. And most of these RESO grants can retrofit the school with things like air conditioning and other crucial, critical needed repairs for the school. So we are proud to say that we have received that. Also, the arts and literacy grants, we want to congratulate IS 190 for receiving an arts and literacy grant from the Morgan Library to provide, those services to that community. Principal Arts Fellow Programs, we want to congratulate several schools like Principal El Karani 358, Jacob Lau 287, and Dr. Remy 354. They have been selected as fellows where they will participate in professional learning communities, focus on building lasting arts partnership and securing grants. We also have the MBK and MSK $100 grant from Councilwoman Adrian Adams office. We have 15 elementary and middle schools with a focus on mentoring and exposure to lift our students' attendance and academic success. So this is really MSK and the MBK grants to really help our students with encourage students to be in school, like a mentorship to our students, and which will really help with the chronic absenteeism. Next slide, please. Spring into inclusion. This is what we're mentioning. Autism now represents 13% of students' classification in District 28. That's a large chunk, the third highest in the district across the city. District 28, however, has partnered with the Division of Inclusive and Accessible Learning, called DIAL. Together, they have launched Spring into Inclusion. This is a 3-day in-person professional learning series that really support educators, building leaders, and paraprofessionals. And the focus areas include creating inclusive classroom environments, enhancing communication strategies, implementing intensive behavior supports in the school where the needs are, are greatest. So that's a very important thing. And we're only one of few districts that were given this autism training to really help our youngsters because of our high percentage of 13% affected with autism on the autism spectrum. Next slide, please. And just want to talk about our attendance. We're ahead of the city average. We are very important ahead of the city average. Citywide 90.9%, down from 91.8 in September 2024. But our district 93.1, which is a slight, just should be slightly going up from over last year. So we see the attendance is getting better. While attendance is down across the city though, District 28 is doing better than the city average, showing strong engagement from our students and families through a distributive initiative to prioritize attendance teams and implement best practices through PLOs to all stakeholders. District-wide training is being presented to parent coordinators, attendance points in our schools, and school-specific PTA and teachers PD. So I want to thank our families and schools for staying connected and committed. Your efforts are making a difference. So we are really trending upwards in our attendance, thus going downward in our chronic absenteeism. Thanks. Next slide, please. Upcoming events, we have Character Day parades where we celebrate reading and creativity by encouraging students to dress up as their favorite book characters, promoting literacy in a fun and engaging way. They create an inclusive and respectful environment where all students can participate. And our, MSK and ME Hispanic Heritage Month celebration is on. In-person events being hosted by Principal Saint at IS8, celebrating with 15 participating schools and their communities with food and cultural presentations. So some of those are some of the highlights happening across the district. Next slide, please. So we want to congratulate on a very good note that Eli and Evan Cruz from PS 139 on being selected as youth ambassadors for District 28 in the New York City Youth Ambassadors Leadership Program. So I want to say special thanks to Vijay Ramjatan, Director of the Office of the Prevention of Hate Crimes, for recognizing their leadership. Their dedication to inclusion and civic engagement is a proud reflection of PS 139 and the District 28 community. And I also want to shout out to the parents, because active parents mean kids are doing very well. So I want to thank the parents for their support. So we have the Eli and Evan, the two E's boys, who are doing very well in representing the community. They're just example of the face of District 28. I think that's it. Next slide, please. So I just want to thank you for your attention to the presentation, and we'll be here to, taking questions. And we're saying that I'm very proud of the work we're doing in District 28, and the best is yet to come. So I want to thank you so much for your attention and your support as always. Thank you. Quentin,
Thank you, Dr. Blake. Dr. Superintendent Dr. Blake. And you hit a soft spot when you mentioned the autism workshops, because I'm all about inclusion and, being a father of two autistic children, two children with autism. Got to work on my language. It really, really touched me that we're doing so much to be more involved and speak more to that community. And I represent D75. So thank you for all you're doing for the community and all you've done for our district.
thank you.
Next, I would like to bring up Principal Signal. Principal Signal did send me a message that she was having trouble logging in because she's traveling from a meeting that she was in, but she did send me a video that I'm going to present that her phenomenal students put together for their presentation today. So I'm looking forward to seeing this video for the first time with you all of the amazing students. A second. Can everyone see my screen? Awesome.
Hi, my name is Hope, and I'm in 5th grade. Welcome to Edward K. Ellington.
And thank you, Hope. Hi, my name is Leilani. I'm in the 5th grade. I go to Edward K. Ellington, and recently we celebrated an event for our dads. And my dad came, and we had a wonderful time celebrating at Edward K. Ellington with donuts and coffee to celebrate your dad.
Hi, my name is Amber, and I go to Edward K. Ellington. In 21 days of school so far, I've learned how to use so many different strategies to add and subtract decimals. Just like using compatible numbers, compensation, and just lining them up like standard algebra. I've learned so much at this school, and I can't wait to learn more.
Hi, my name is Talisa Prasad. I go to Edward K. Ellington, and I'm in 5th grade, and one of my favorite subjects so far is ELA, and what we're learning in ELA right now is inventions and how their inventions affected the lives of people and what led them to make those inventions.
Hi, my name is Karina, and the grade I'm in is grade 5, and the school I go to is PS 140 Edward K. Ellington. And what I like celebrating about this school is this beautiful mural.
All right. All right. What stuff? Wow. That was phenomenal. Like, thank you, Principal Signal, when she sees this in the recording. Like, you guys can hear me, right? Awesome. Yeah, when she sees this in the recording, thank you, Principal Signal, for sharing your school with us, sharing your student, sharing the energy. We really appreciate it. And it's a good reflection of our district. Our district has the best energy. We have the best students. We have the best schools and the best teachers. Let the other districts know. Like, yeah, you can let them know. I'm very proud of our district. Now, what I also want to do before I just see if we have any elected officials who want to bring greetings, I want to let the other principals know, please put principal next to your name because I will be calling on you all later to please bring greetings to us. But for now, I would like to start with our elected officials. What we have. Let's see. We have Senator John Liu's office. Sujin.
Quentin, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, good. Yeah. All right. So, good evening, everyone. This is Sujin from Senator John Liu's office. We are deeply saddened by the tragic death of a young boy due to a safety incident. And in response to the recent school safety incident, Senator Liu, Councilmember Linda Lee, and Assemblymember David Babrin will hold a press conference tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. They will call for greater investments in schools, public safety, and community coordination to ensure the well-being of students and family. So also community affairs officers from the 111 precinct and representatives from local high schools, parents, and community members will also join. The location is corner of Springfield Boulevard and Union Turnpike, the site of the recent gun incident. So, well, you know what? There are going to be a lot of District 26 parents will be there. But then, if anyone from District 28, if anyone wants to join, more than welcome. So, once again, it's 9:30 a.m. tomorrow at Springfield Boulevard and Union Turnpike. All right, that's it for today. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any other elected officials here? Do y'all see anybody? No. Okay. If you're an elected official, please just raise your hand if I didn't see you. All right. Now I'd like to give our district leadership team some time. We have want to say Dr. Raj. Are you doctor?
No, doctor. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you this evening, as always. But I think Dr. Blake highlighted a lot of the good things that we are doing in the district. As a community, as a team, we're just going to reinforce the goals and the initiatives for the year to ensure that it's a success. As Dr. Blake mentioned, tomorrow we are going to be at Van Buren High School to follow up on how we can better create a safer community for our scholars. We also have some pilot programs that are coming up. I know AI is something we've been talking about. It's one of my pilot projects, so would love to hopefully share that with the community at large at some point. We are also in the process of finalizing our screener data. So once that's finished, I'm sure Dr. Blake will be sharing some of those data sets with everyone. But we look forward to a strong year. And as always, if you have any questions, please reach out to us, and we will do our best to respond in a timely manner. Again, thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you for that. Especially, I want to just emphasize responding in a timely manner. You guys have done very well with that, and we appreciate that. Next, I'd like to invite Sonia, our FLC.
Can you see me? Good evening. I think I'm having a little bit of a camera issue here. Okay, but you can hear me. Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with you always. Just highlighting or a little bit deeper what Dr. Blake mentioned in terms of supporting our parent leaders. I'm very proud to say that I've already offered 13 parent sessions for parent leaderships. So this is we started in the September 8th, morning and evenings. And in the 23 years, this is the fastest I've done it, right? Parents want everything now. And so the last session, which is working with conflict and challenging individuals, which was attended by principals and social workers and parents. I mean, it was just such a great session, but it really is a commitment that we have, that I am very passionate about, giving parents the tools that they need to do this work, because it's not easy work. I know Alicia and I have had numerous conversations about how vast the system is, the policies, and at the end of the day, parents are doing this because they want to, because they're volunteers, and I'm very, very conscientious of that. So I just want to say that I'll put in the chat the last session that is open to anyone. If you've ever dealt with any type of conflict, maybe nobody here, or any challenging individual, I'd love for you to attend. I've also started my parenting workshops and social and emotional workshops at schools. So different schools have invited me over. I do them in English and Spanish, virtual, in person. There's a lot of things going on out there in our neighbors, in our neighborhoods. And so parents are struggling, families are struggling in many areas. And so the impact academics, and often we don't talk about it. We don't focus on some of these issues. So I am more than happy to attend any of your meetings so that we can continue to support our families in academics and beyond. So thank you for that. And I, look forward to our continued partnership.
Thank you as always. And those meetings are phenomenal. I've learned a lot attending those meetings, and I really appreciate that you're putting this on for us. Next, I would like to invite our principals. I'll just start calling you guys out. So I'd like to start with Principal Hanley.
Oh, hi, good evening. I've been trying to put my camera on and it says the host has disabled your camera. And since the beginning, I don't know why, Quentin. So you can't really see me, but I swear I'm here. Anyhow, yeah, everything's great. Back to school was wonderful. It's just so busy. It's hard to believe that it's already October 9th. We had a terrific day of learning. All the principals were together in the city today, really strengthening our skills on how to coach our teachers so that we could positively impact student learning. Oh, I can do my video now. Hey! So, Yeah, and I agree with what you said. District 28 is the best. The students, the families, all the staff, and just everybody works so nicely together. So we're looking forward to a great fall and the rest of the school year.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Principal Hanley. And next we have Principal Angela Lisa.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Oh, did I lose you? Oh, sorry. Okay, thought I lost you. So a lot of exciting things happening here at Halsey. Tonight, we actually have a sixth grade parent meet and greet. All my sixth grade parents are out there right now. So I'm going to talk really quick and get back to them. Lots of fun stuff happening at Halsey. Our parents are here tonight and they are having a chance to kind of like get to know one another so that we could, and get to know us so that we can build community together and support our sixth graders who are transitioning to middle school, and they're actually doing really well. Also, I want to mention that Alessia was here and she visited our school and we got to tour many classrooms and we had an amazing conversation and she gave me so many wonderful ideas to continue to build community at Halsey. So that was awesome and I look forward for her to come to return.
Thank you. Thank you. And listen, get to those parents. We appreciate you taking the time with us today. And I'd like to call Matthew Goodman, our district leadership team, wants to bring some greetings as well.
Good evening, all. I'm also, my camera is not connected. I think that's just for a setting. But I just want to thank everybody. If I haven't met you guys yet, I am part of the superintendent's team. I'm the district tennis coordinator. I am happy that since joining the team, I've been under Dr. Blake, and he has a very strong focus on attendance and really building up the climate and culture within our schools to really engage our students. And first and foremost, that really starts with the parents and community. And, again, thank you and look forward to supporting any schools in any way. And I've been collaborating with a lot of the team members, doing different presentations, and I'm going to continue to do that with the PTAs.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, now I do want to acknowledge it's October. October brings a lot of good things. And first, I want to mention it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So we should all be aware that if you need to get that check, get that check. But let's celebrate the increases in technology and support that we have for breast cancer. Also, it is Augmentative and Alternative Communication Month. Non-speaking children use devices, electronic and non-electronic, assisted and non-assisted devices to communicate. And this is the month that is actually celebrating and bringing awareness to all those different levels of communication that non-speaking children use to communicate. It is also Domestic Violence Awareness Month, raising awareness about domestic violence. It is Anti-Bullying Day. What is this month? It's also National Disability Employment Awareness Month. It is National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. It is Health Literacy Month, National ADHD Awareness Month, Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, Sudden Cardiac Arrest Awareness Month, Down Syndrome Awareness Month, and I want to take this time to also wish our Jewish community a happy Yom Kippur. That's a lot going on this month. A lot to be aware of, and awareness usually brings us closer to solutions, because we definitely don't want to just stay in awareness too long. We want to get solutions so we could just start celebrating the solutions about these things that we're already aware of. But always want to give acknowledgement to that. All right, so next on our agenda, we have our interviews for our District 28 candidates. 2 days ago, I want to say, our council member, Dean Tolbert, resigned due to a conflict that of his employment. And we sent him heartfelt messages because we really appreciated the time and the impact that he made while he was here on the council. Council members, we're parents just like you. We have families and we have goals, and sometimes things happen and then we have to make decisions and it could impact other things. However, he did it in the best way possible. He resigned because he knew that, you know what, I don't want to just leave this council without a member. I'm going to just put in my resignation so they can have the opportunity to now possibly fill my seat so we can get back to the work that the council does, which is being the voice for the community, elevating your concerns to get solutions as best we can. So want to, just in case he watches the recording, thank you, brother. We appreciated you. And he's still a D28 parent. So we'll see him in our meetings in the future and possibly in the committee meetings, which all parents can always be a part of. And now I would like to bring up, actually, I would like to bring up our candidates for the open positions on our District 28 Council. And then if our second vice president, Jennifer, if you don't mind, leading this out with the questions, like just leading it out, who does the first question and stuff like that.
Thank you, Quentin. We will have 4 questions that will be posed by council members to our candidates. The first question will be posed by our first Vice President Lauren. The second question will be posed by our Treasurer Alicia. The third question will be posed by our member Annie. Fourth question will be posed by our President Quentin. So do we spotlight the candidates now?
Yes.
Okay.
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 All right, we have council members. Let me see.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we're going to give each of our candidates 2 minutes to just introduce yourself, who you are and what makes you great and why you want to be a part of this phenomenal council. So I guess we could start with you, Lori Garcia.
Okay, hello, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. My child is part of the kindergarten now on the 117 Briarwood School, and have a mission to help the community, and not only for my child, for everyone out there. I'm actually participating in a lot of volunteers event, even prior to this, church, schools, and right now on my like all missions. You guys discuss about a lot of mental health with children, with the whole subway thing, with the whole like vaping things, and right now that I've been educated with an old school education in Italy for so long. I came here 8 years ago. I have a background of Hispanic, Dominican, Colombian, Italian, and my son is half Korean. So I kind of have a mix of all culture and all the differences and all difficulties between the old culture that we can encounter as a new generation. Also, as I am a millennial, so I grew up with no technology and technology within it. So I know what it is, and that is why I am big in the community. I have a nonprofit dedicated for art, which I want to participate my school son on the art event for donation and uh, in- increase the budget just to well, help our children. That is not just mine, but all of us. I believe on you. I wish somebody believed on me when I was that age when I was growing up. So this really big on me, like on just give it a chance and just give it an opportunity. I also work for Anthem because Brazil, which is insurance company. They're big on volunteering, and I'm a part of the analytic team, which is I have a big knowledge of SQL and analytic Power BI that can be really useful for the business stand of you guys are doing. I participated with Medicaid. Executive meetings, and I'm really into the mental health situation with all children. My son is only 5 years old, which is I represent everybody that is honestly is in this generation, and I have big projects, and then I would like to speak forward with you. And also, I speak like sorry for my English. My
That's okay.
first language is
Thank you.
Italian, then Spanish, English. I speak Japanese, Korean. I kind of like love every culture, so like that's why I believe I can be a big asset for this team, and I'm big into community work.
Okay.
I want to give space
Thank
to
you, Laura.
everybody else. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now I'd like to go to GK.
Okay, thank you. My name is Gurumurthy Kalyanaram, and some of you know me, and to others I'm new. I was served on the council the last 2 years, the last term. I did place myself on the ballot, and I got decent votes, but not enough to make it through the algorithm. I'm persistent. That's why I applied here. And my persistence is based on the love for education and love for kids. I've been always persistent with this. The last time when I got on the council, it was again that I placed myself on the ballot without knowing anything. I was trumped by two individuals, and then I came again on the council through a vacancy. So I've been resilient. I've been at this. PEP applied once and it was radio silence. And then next time I got to be a finalist. I'm citing these because I'm very interested in this. I'm committed. I'm passionate about education. And I'm deeply committed to this resilience and commitment and energy. I would, of course, be simple logistics, like attending the meetings and participating, engaging with the community, with the school community and the larger community. I've done that in many ways. And I'm a professor. I teach here locally in New York. I have a doctoral degree in industrial organization economics and management science. We live in Forest Hills, myself and my wife and 2 kids. And our kids go to local primary school 303 here in Forest Hills. I would bring diversity to the council, diversity in terms of course, region, origin, South Asian. I probably would be the only teacher, because if you're a teacher in New York Public School, you're not eligible to be there. I speak several languages. I mean, of course, English, I speak Japanese, I speak Chinese, I speak Russian, and I speak several Indian languages. I'll bring intellectual diversity. I look on evidence and make recommendations and engage in conversations. So I'm very passionate about this position, as all of you that serve, that there is, maybe there's a little glory, but very little financial compensation, if there is anything, $125, which of course relinquished during my 2 years term. I would simply request your serious consideration of my engagement past and my expected engagement, and my passion, my commitment, my energy to this important domain, education of our kids. Thank you.
Thank you, GK. Next, Akita, Miss Williams.
It is okay. Hi, good evening, all. First, I want to congratulate the new CEC members, and I'm going to take a deep breath. I heard all of the qualifications. I speak one language, and that's English, and I try. I don't do it too good, but I'm going to try tonight. I just want to share a little bit about me. I had the pleasure of working on the committee last term, the 2024-2025 school year. And to me, it was phenomenal. I was so excited. I'm a retired New York City transit worker, so I'm retired and I have plenty of time. I am the mother of 4 adoptive children. I am fostering a 2-year-old. I don't know why I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I have to share that to get it out. I'm very involved in the community. I'm very involved in school. I sit on the PTA, the SLT, the Title I. And as my children move from the K-5 school, I'm on it now with the middle school, and I have a son in high school. I'm the product myself of the New York City public school system, and I think they did a really good job. I'm very excited about this work. I didn't know all that this entailed. I've learned so much, and I'd like to continue the work. I don't want to babble and take too long. I have a willingness to serve. This was a great team from last year, and I worked with various people from all walks of life. I also want to share that I am the facilitator of a meeting with my foster care agency that I deal with a lot of different cultures, a lot of different foster parents, and I know their needs. I'm also I have a child with, well, 2, ADHD, one that's in a special school, so I know the concerns there. I'm going to just leave it there. I'm just excited, I'm open, and I'm willing to serve. Okay, that's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Makita. All right. You got this, gentleman?
Thanks. We're gonna have our first question, please, Lauren.
Should we keep the same order?
Yes, that makes sense.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to say, nice to see some familiar faces. And I want to thank you all, first of all, for stepping up and making the effort to apply to serve on this council. It's a lot of hard work. It's very gratifying. And I'm just very, very grateful that you want to do it. So we're going to keep the same order. Ms. Garcia, you will go first. So District 28 is a very diverse district in terms of socioeconomic status, political views, ethnicity, school scores, programming, and more. If you are selected as a council member, how would you aim to provide broad-based support to elevate the concerns of all of our families, even when they don't mirror your own views?
Well, I come from different background. I grew up in different countries, so it's not like just I'm just here from America or from New York. I live in Italy. I'm from DR. Live in Colombia. I live in Jersey. My son is South Korean, live with Asian culture, my best friend is Chinese. I have 3 years of study of Asian culture history, which is a Chinese, Japanese, and Korean history. So like I am we're aware of the differences. And that is why I'm here, because I'm kind of a bridge of the representation from old generation to new generation. I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot of changes. So, like, I can understand the difference of what the kids are going through. And that is why I'm here. And that is why my own missions, even before participating on this meeting, or even if I'm not elected for this, that is still to unify the youth of just this generation. I just want to be able to express themselves, and I believe youth are youth no matter what cultural background they are, and we're here to understand them. So there has to be compassion, there has to be understanding of the culture, and the willingness to learn the differences between the what we are. And then I experienced that. I experienced racism. I experiences a lot of differences, being from a different culture and grew up in Italy in a small town, and being just a judge for. I remember I was in elementary school and I was judged just for like because I was Latino, and there was like a general conception of them that everybody was poor, the black, the whatever the was, and I know so that it was I'm fighting for, and I'm only that's my mission. That is why I put on myself to understand everybody. That is why I'm learning all the language that I can learn to just be able to be a bridge between everybody.
Thank you so much. We're going to move on to GK. Would you like me to repeat the question?
You got it. Oh, yeah, that's.
It is a very diverse district in terms of socio. Oh, it's back. Good to go. Okay. District 28 is a very diverse district in terms of socioeconomic status, political views, ethnicity, school scores, programming, etc. If selected as a council member, how would you aim to provide broad-based support to elevate the concerns of all of our families, even when they don't mirror your own?
Sure. So I'm a great believer in what I call democratization of quality education. And I believe this is based on evidence that good, high quality education, accessible to high quality education, is the key to enhancing productivity, prosperity of all individuals. This is particularly true for education, primary education, from grade 3 to grade 6. Research has shown this. And I take this seriously about diversity and democratization. I, with an MIT professor, hold information seminars across the world: India, Bangladesh, Somalia, here in US, and we are going to do a seminar session in Congo end of this month. So I'm committed to this. I'm committed to this because if Somalians, those kids grow prosperous, we as a society, global society, grow prosperous. So that applies to our own community, of course, D28. And my heart broke the last 2 weeks. We heard of 2 deaths in Southeast Queens, killing of 2 young kids. One was a couple of weeks back, and one was, I think, yesterday or day before. It's amazing, and it's deeply sorrowing. And we need to create an ecology of safety, of kindness, of empathy for all of us. And if that involves those of us who have a little more stand aside, give in favor of those that could do with a little bit more, because in improving the quality of the lives of those that are slightly marginalized or more than slightly marginalized, we improve the quality of all our lives, our own lives. So the best tools are information. Bring most people, most parents and young men and women, kids don't know the information, the availability of resources. How can they go about it? How can they improve? We want to give them information. We want to give them information. We want to be able to communicate with them. I would be engaged with the community in person. I wouldn't be engaged in person with the schools, with the teachers. I demonstrated that commitment already, and I would continue to do that. And best is being an exemplar. We can talk a lot, but in life, being an exemplar goes a long way. I would be an exemplar in bringing quality education to all our kids in our district and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ms. Williams, you're up. I will repeat the question. District 28 is a very diverse district in terms of socioeconomic status, political views, ethnicity, school scores, programming, etc. If you are selected as a council member, how would you aim to provide broad-based support to elevate the concerns of all of our families, even when their views don't mirror your own?
Okay. You know, everyone wants the best for their children, the best education, the best programs, books. That's what we all want for our children, whether you're in District 28 in the South or the North. What I can do from my experience is listen to parents, listen to my community, and bring it to the CEC, bring it to, I like what KG said, getting information and sharing it with others. A lot of parents don't know about the CEC. A lot of parents don't know that they have a voice. They don't know about this. I have parents with the foster agency and with the foster care system. They don't have a clue. Parents in my community, they don't have a clue. I myself didn't have a clue. And I would, gather information, gather the resources, and I would share it. They have the PTA, the SLT, Well, they have Title I also, but I would share information with the community. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, candidates. I just want to clarify that for the remaining 3 questions, each candidate will have 2 minutes to answer the question. And just to make sure things are fair, we're going to start with a different person for each time as well. So we're going on to our second question, and Alicia will be asking that question. And I think we'll start that with GK, Ms. Williams, and Ms. Garcia.
Good day, I'm Alicia. I will be asking the second question. Welcome all the candidates. Good luck to you all. You all sound wonderful. So question number 2. How do you assess and describe the inequities in access and quality of education in our District 28? And what do you think are possible actionable ideas, such as busing, zone removal, special programs, and others?
Well, that there are, is there a clock somewhere that I see, or I should keep an time here?
I have a clock here that I'm keeping the time of, and there'll be an alarm that goes off. Apologies in advance.
No,
It's
all
not
right. It's
meant
all
to
right.
be disrespectful to anyone if you hear the alarm, but that's just how we'll know that the 2 minutes is up.
Thank you. I just want to, okay, thank you. You know, it's a simple empirical fact, staring at our face, that there are gross, sometimes even grotesque differences, even within our own district. That's hard to deny. It's impossible to deny, right? And we know that. We know north, south, east, and all that. We can go by geography. But what is it that we can, and that recognition is fundamental. That we have to recognize. Number 2, we need to recognize that in improving the lives of those kids who are disadvantaged, we do service to all the district and eventually to a city and a community, larger community. So what is it that we can do? And that is, of course, there's only limited amount of latitude within our own scope. But if we come up with ideas, suggestions, we can make recommendations, pass resolutions, make recommendations, and send it to the larger community, the school education board, and others. I'll give you some simple ideas. For example, we should insist on more specialized schools. When I say more resources, you know, this idea we've been debating about gifted and talented, specialized high school, there's a big debate going. You know, we don't have to have exams. Research has shown, solid research has shown by lottery, if you do it, we have more schools in Queens, special schools, and the admissions will be by lottery. And lottery admissions do as well as test-based admissions, right? We need to focus on more resources, champion for more resources. I'm surprised there is only one specialized high school, for example, for a district as diverse and for a community as large as this. Thank you. I kept time on my own. It was 2 minutes and 11 seconds. And I said, I stopped because I want to be fair to everyone. Thank you.
I will read the question again, and it will go to Ms. Williams.
Okay, well, I saw the
Ms.
question.
Williams, can you hear me? Because you put it,
Yeah,
I
it was
think
it
in
was
chat
coming.
that you cannot hear my question.
It's coming. It's
It's not
broken
working.
up. But I'm not understanding the question. I'm sorry. You know what? Listen, we have Why is that echoing? Okay, we have we're in the box. We can make suggestions on doing this and doing that. And I heard about more specialized high school. We can only bring what the community want to the high ups. That's all we can do. Sitting on the CEC, we get information from the community, from our parents, from all over, and we can just bring it to the higher ups. Because I can't do anything on my own. I can't do anything here. So we can gather all of the information and bring it above us. That's all. I don't need some answers that for me, it's not like I don't need no 2 minutes, but thank you.
Ms. Garcia, you are next.
You hear me? Okay. So coming from a big enterprise, a big corporate, I work with analytics team. Like that question for me is really simple. It's just all in analytics, say database where students resort as being on the past years, and see what we can do around them. I'm really big on program SQL, Power BI, to see an actually visual representation of where we at, and from, for example, for 5 years to now, that would be give us result, what we can do, what we can change. That's what I do for my job. I help old people. I'm working on Medicaid. I help people that are in hospice. I help people that have illness. I help people that need care. So that's really what I do every day. And then I know it's possible. If it's possible with a healthcare, it's possible with a education system. So I am really like positive that something like that can be done in here, and just analyzing science number, and then we can go see in the field, maybe look, we're District 28, let's see the school, how they doing, each of them interviewing after we have numbers, so we can compare them, so we see what is the next plan, so something we have to do it. So I am a logic person. I am a person that have a kid, and I'm a person that know only that because I have a kid, but I see for the future. No, I see from the past on what is going on right now. I want to see a change. So for me is everything from my experience and my education, and is the best for our kids. So number, research, and what is best for us. That's it.
Thank you so much. We're going to our third question, and our member Annie will be asking it. We'll start with Ms. Williams this time, then go to Ms. Garcia, and then to GK. I also, I thought Lauren had a wonderful idea to put it in chat, and I see that she's already, because she's awesome. All right, next.
Okay. Hello, how are you? Welcome, Annie, and I'll ask the third question. It's a bit long, so I will try to go through it. Should you become a CEC member in District 28, please describe your vision and goals for your work with your liaison schools and other schools within the district. Now, please be as specific as possible, including, for example, attendance, which is your own, at SLT meetings, attendance at PTA meetings, or other parent outreach and school visits. Please also describe more generally the parent leadership or parent advocacy meetings that you have attended this past year, and including a rough idea of how many times you have attended. Thanks.
Okay, this question is for me.
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to keep it real simple. Well, I would attend, you said describe the visions and goals for your work with the liaison schools. Last year, I visit my schools. I visit one more than I did others. I am more aware of what has to be done. I would visit my schools more than just the 2 or 3 times with just 2 of them. But one school I visit, like I was there every other week. But as far as SLT, school just started. We had one SLT meeting. I was there. We have our Title I meeting didn't come up yet. I was with my PTA meeting. I was in another district. I had to show up there to be supportive of my grandbaby. But he said the year just started. The year just started, and as far as with school, but I attend plenty of parent leadership meetings in another arena, and that's once a month. Let me see. So that's it. That's basically it. In the past, I attend every SLT meeting. At one time, it was both schools. I was the PTA president. I was the assistant president. I was the Title I chairperson. I was the co-chairperson. I sit on the SLT meeting, the SLT team right now today with my middle school. So, and I would just continue to do what I'm doing. I would continue to do what I did last year. Stay involved, share information, stay involved. That's it.
Thank you, Pakita. Hello, the next person is GK. Hello. Do you need me to repeat the question or you're okay?
I'm okay. I see it here on the thing.
Questions in the chat.
Okay, thank you. So when I was in the council, I was a liaison for 4 schools. I attended several SLT meetings of these schools. I attended individual meetings, just went and had conversations and visits with the principal, with the assistant principal, and meeting people. I attended the graduation ceremonies of the schools, and I think one of our end of year activity was in one of the schools that I was liaising. So I was very engaged with those schools. One of the schools repeatedly was pleading with me to get to the community and to the council and to the higher ups that the need for a bigger building. They are very space constrained. I worked with them, I listened to them, and I tried to bring it to the community. So I will be very engaged with the schools that I liaise with. But beyond that, I'm very aware of our community. I'm very aware of New York City's public school system. For example, I'll tell you one data that New York City public schools rankings are done on the scores, those standardized scores and all that, but not anymore. For the last decade, this is hidden in the dashboard, those of you know, is done on survey of quality of schools, self-reported schools. That's also reported. And what we find in science is those surveys, those quality surveys, they predict graduation from the school as good as the test scores, test-based ranking. So I would look for evidence, I look for data, I would be a listener, and bring voice of our stakeholders into the council constantly. I'm engaged not only in a community for education, but beyond that, as I've told you, I interview young men and women that apply to MIT. I'm an education counselor, which will start shortly as the early action. I do about 100 of those applications. I see so many young men and women, largely from our New York City, but beyond. I do information sessions with an MIT professor across the world. I'm doing this to be here, to be engaged with the community. I want to be part of CEC, to be part of the community, to contribute in however small but substantial and material manner that I can. Thank you.
Oh, Lori, you're next. Lori,
You hear me? Oh, okay, I'm so sorry. I don't want to take a lot of your time. As you know, I didn't grow up in an American system, but I'm always been involved in youth, even people younger than me, and then that community. In my college, I'm being part of training of the like you say here in America, the freshmen or everybody was for free. I just had the joy to share what I had. It is the same thing once I have a kid. My kid is 5 years old. We live in New Jersey before here. We transfer 5 months ago in Briarford. But I was in a Catholic school, which is it was a joy seeing my son growing up in there, and I participated in any event. One, because my company, Anthem Brooklyn Lucio, encouraged like volunteering event, and they actually promote that. Actually, if I tell them that you have something, I can connect it with them, and they gladly sponsor them. But not only that, I was just part of the Halloween, Easter. I was the first one going there and the last one, literally like taking the last table and putting them and helping the teachers. Not for everything. It's just like a man. I want to be part. My son growing up of the new generation. I was there. I'm 33 years old. So like I was part of my school like 10 years ago. I left my school and something. So like this is my word and this is what I want to be like people see to be changed, that you help to make a change. You help because you're feeling the new generation is changing. You see that you need to help. You see that is something there that you can be able to help, even if it's not your child. But it's just so like for me, it just filled me my heart seeing all the kids and communicating with me and helping them and all this event. This is even right now at my school, and my son's school is a kindergarten, but I registered already all the events. I just want to be part of that. That's my joy. And I want to contribute and even contribute like money wise to make that happen. Oh, money wise on my overtime, not my company. I just want to help my kid to have the best experience ever, and I want to encourage parents to do the same, and have everybody have the great experience and education. I grew up in Italy. For me, education is really important. Events are really important. Like maybe it's a kind of different how we do here than I grew up in there, but I grew up with a classic education, and I want to push it here, art, literature, or in any event that I can be participate art, I am in it. So I will be making a difference.
Okay. Thank you so much. We're going to go to our fourth question. Our President Quentin will ask that one. We'll start again with Ms. Garcia. Then we'll go to Ms. Williams, and then we'll go to GK. And that.
No problem. All right. Thank you for your answers so far, and we're getting to the end, so I'm excited. Fourth question. What 3 topics are you most passionate about that you feel needs to be highlighted on the CEC board, and why?
Mental health first, which is a big topic for me right now. I've been through it. I've been a teenager. I grew up to it, to the changes of social media, of the impacts of TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the trends that are been going on, and I've been victim of that. I have friends that passed away their young age from drugs, from all the bullying, from all the things of that this new society create. So that is one of my big topic. Then incremented of actually, do you know the book Goleman, Emotional Intelligence? To develop each kid, to observe them, what is their talent? Not everybody is the same. We all come from different culture. We all come from different background. We all come from different way of thinking. We cannot be educated in the same way. Students need to be observed. Students need to be direct, not be just left alone. Not be just because you're weird. Like, okay, you're not like everyone else. We're in a new generation, and this is one thing that this generation need to understand, and I hope they understand. uh Kids need to be follow up, like the class. Okay, what is your big strength? Maybe you're not the big in science, but what you can be the what you can do the most on everything else. Every kid is particular, and every kids can be guided. Also, classic arts, again, expressing. The government shut down a lot of arts, music, and then like being an environment of psychic arts and mental health. And you know what I discovered? Art, music, expressive. It's one of the things that cure them. That you can understand what is going on with you, within, what you want to express. And that is the one that a lot of kids are misunderstood with. That they're being like just kicked out or not. So that's for me the biggest thing. Like again, basic education, like old school, but focusing on the spread on each student and mental health, because this is what this country to 2025 is needed. Mental health is the first thing.
Thank you for your answer, Mrs. Garcia. All
You're
right.
welcome.
Next, what was the order?
Me.
Kita?
I think it was
All
me.
right.
Kita Williams.
Kita, do
All
you
right,
need me to repeat the question?
No, I see the question.
you see-
What are the 3 topics that I'm passionate about that I feel the need to be highlighted by the CEC? I don't know. Listen, we get our information from the schools. What is it the school want us to bring forth? to the chancellor. Last year, I worked on some committees. And, from that side, from the CEC side, and small class sizes, I'm passionate about that. I have some children that they need to be in a small class, and yes, the CEC was highlighting that, so I would like that to be to continue to be a work in progress. We talked about special education, that's what I would like the CEC to work on. We talked about that, special education. A lot of parents, with this IEP, I don't know how to read the IEP. I rely on someone else to tell me the information. And some of the information is a little twisted when you don't know. What can we do? Like I heard the speaker earlier talking about the vaping. And if the CEC could bring more like people in and speak about that, the vaping, and that's why I put the question, can you come out into the schools, into the community and bring this information forth? But those are some topics that working with the CEC that I would like to see highlighted, and that's it. And long story short, I have a willingness to serve. But thank you. Did I give 3 topics? Drugs, sex, all of that. All of that.
Thank you, Ms. Williams.
Wait a minute, I have 2 minutes. I want to just laugh and say, when I was there, you couldn't stop me. I was like, oh, my 2 minutes is up. Now I have 2 minutes and I'm like giving you 30-second answers. But, let's just get to the meat. I thank you.
Okay, GK.
Okay. So the 3 topics are, I think both Laurie and Pakita touched on several of them. One of them is, we discussed, question number 1 was that, question number 2 was that. I mean, do you recognize disparity in the district? I recognize not only in the district, I recognize across our city disparity. I mean, enormous disparities in public schools, set aside the private schools and all that. So the one thing that we as a council should do, think about it, deliberate, not that I have any solutions, not that anyone has any solutions. There are many constraints, including budget constraints and all that. What is it that we can do? What are little things and maybe bigger things that we can do? We can recommend to the larger community, to the chancellor's office and others, to bring accessibility to good education to all our kids. And I mean it most sincerely, really, most. And there is enormous disparity. That should be our focus. With access to good quality education, everything else comes together. And in that poignantly, of course, as Quekita mentioned, and I have experienced with the parents, the kids that need special education, if that is the right phrase. And there is so much anguish and frustration among parents. Enormous. I know that. Enormous. And both with just reading the IEPs and making sense of them, and in interacting with the schools. I mean, and the schools are not to blame. They don't have the resources, they don't have the people. So really our focus, all our energies could be spent on coming up with ways, facilitating, improving communication of good, accessible education, good education for all our kids, the rich and the poor, and the special education and the regular education. That would be the biggest thing. Rest of it falls. The second thing is, of course, physical safety. I can't get over the tragedies in the last 2-3 weeks in our neighborhood of 2 kids. Just the one was this week and Tuesday or so. I was listening, my heart broke. Physical safety, and related to that, as Laurie said, mental health. mental health, so much with social media and engagement that is driven. This is going to get worse with artificial intelligence, chat box. People are hallucinating, chat box. Oh, I love you. You're so wonderful. I can't believe how great you are. And people are actually getting drawn. There's a studies to say hallucination. So this kind of social engagement may get worse with the technology and mental health. What is it that we can do in small ways and big ways that we could do? Finally, being a good listener, what the community wants. We don't have to be prescriptive. Always. My passion would be to a listener, what people want, what people think of. There is wisdom in collective judgment. There is wisdom in among the people, among the constituents, among the parents. We want to listen not only parents but also educators, the teachers. They have their own set of frustration. So my priority would be access to good quality education to everyone, physical safety, mental health, and being a listener and reflecting the voice of our constituency in a productive manner. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, GK, for that. So now we're gonna ask the one last question. This question, I know we gave you 2 minutes for the last ones. This one, let's try 20 seconds or less. So the question is, and we're gonna start with, which order are we in now?
Pakita, GK.
Pakita, GK, then Lori. The question is, are you committed to attending every CEC business meeting in person? And that's every first Thursday, unless.
You repeat that question? No, I have 20 seconds. Let me count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, I've done it before, and I would be more than excited to do it again. I love it. Okay, my 20 seconds is up. Let me just say yes.
Thank you. Now this question goes to you.
I work for a remote job, so I can bring my computer everywhere, and my job is more than happy to me participate in volunteering events, actually give funds for it. So yes, I'm available for everything.
Yeah.
Thank you. So now GK.
Yes, very much so. I can see it 3 times. Yes, yes, yes. Maybe that's a commitment, and I've done it, and I would do it with a lot of energy, enthusiasm, and passion. Thank you.
All right, that was our final. Sure, that was our final question. I want to thank you, candidates, for participating. Your commitment is well appreciated, and we really value your answers. And now we're going to continue with our agenda, and voting will be on our business meeting. But thank you again for showing up. Thank you for speaking out, and we look forward to seeing you again. And
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
yeah, no, we're gonna do all of that. My agenda.
Quentin, let me ask, can I stay
So
on and listen to the meeting or what?
first, so now we're going to go to our actually somebody asked a question.
Yeah, can I stay on and listen or do I have
Yes,
to
please
go?
stay. Don't leave.
Oh, okay then.
Stay.
Okay. All right, I'm here.
So next, I would like to make a motion to have our public comment section be put ahead of our council members' reports.
Second.
Thank you, Lauren, for seconding that. And yes, and now, so Annie and Alicia, you guys have the speaking order? Okay. So first on our public comment section, we have our in-person parent And when you're in person, you kind of get to skip the line because you showed up in person. Nothing against virtual, we understand, but we have our past CEC member, Simone Thornbach.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm also going to go this way. First of all, I want to say thank you to the council members for showing up all the time, because I know it's hard work and it's unpaid and you do a lot of work behind the scenes. And so I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you. And I want to those parents who are here for the first time to keep coming, because these meetings are very informational and you get a chance to understand better what's happening in our district. You get to know our superintendent, of course, our council, but also what's happening in the city, what the DOE is doing, and you stay informed and you can make better decisions for your children and their education. And then I have a question. I'm curious to know the status on their class size implementation in our district. What's happening? Where are we right now? And I spoke to a parent this morning, and I heard, and I just want to find out if this is true or if this is rumors, because when parents are talking, sometimes it's not accurate, that there are two schools where programs were cut, like art program and art and music. And I was very alarmed because that's not the point of implementing the class size law, to cut those programs. And the reason why we, in the previous year, created the class size committee was really to avoid things like that. So I'm curious to find out if this is true, that these programs were cut, and I can provide later the schools in question. And if that is true, how can we like turn this back? Because we need to find other solutions these programs from the education of our kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Simone. And as you know, we are a strong district because we have a strong relationship with our district and our leadership. So please send that to our email and we could address that as soon as tomorrow. So I appreciate that. We definitely want to get to the bottom of that because that was not the plan of the class size committee, and we want to know what's going on. So thank you for bringing that up. Next, we have Toshiba Williams. Toshiba Williams, where are you?
Hi. Could you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Could you hear me? Oh, okay, I didn't know because I went to my notes because I was also a part of one of the parents from the small class size. I'm home today. I'll usually be in person also. But in my the thing I wanted to know is I need to get an understanding of that small class size, because my question is on when, oh my God, I'm getting so nervous. Okay. I'm getting confused because I don't understand why when we sit on the SLT meeting, we was told that we had applied for the class size law, we got the class size law, and we had 6 positions. Something happened when we got to September and we got into school. When I asked about the class size law, they was like, oh, we already got it. We didn't have to use it because we already got it. But that doesn't sound kind of accurate, because we had put in so we could get an extra ICT class for the first and third grade, first to third. That didn't happen. Kindergarten wound up being first grade wound up, they said first grade was the reason why we was getting it, right? First grade wound up being low. So now kindergarten is packed through capacity. Second grade packed through capacity. And you said we can't get another class, but we had 6 positions. If we got 6 positions, we should be able to get another class. The thing is it's not really, I'm kind of confused on it, because if we had it and we already had it with the classes already set up, then what did we apply for? That would be the question. What did we apply for if we already had it? Because we can't add another class. We lost the ICT class. We was told we was getting one, then we didn't get one. And then now we got kindergarten maxed all the way out, can't get another class for it. Second grade maxed all the way out, we can't get another grade for it. And then kindergarten, quiet as it's kept, it was told that the new kids that will apply for it have to go to another school. So now we gotta kick kids out of our school to go to another school. That's not what when we was doing the small, that's not what we were discussing. I don't get it. We gotta fix it.
Thank you, Toshiba. And just want to ask you, have you discussed this with your principal of the school? Did you mention the school just now?
Okay. No, I didn't mention my school. I discussed that. I sit on the SLT. So yeah, I mentioned it. I bring it up all the time. It was last year I was already worried about, I was always concerned about helping with the PTA, like how they could help us with how, CEC could do with that and how we could fix the other stuff. And then I joined the small class size committee with y'all, and we went through our stuff. And then last year when when the principal was doing it and I was on SLT, I was kind of figuring how we gonna do that if you're not gonna get no new teachers. Because I was concerned of why we don't got no teachers. But then you got grants for the small class size, and then you didn't get more teachers. And then like I don't get it. Like we need more teachers in that building. We need kids to be able to go to the right small classes. You said the class size is supposed to be no more than 20. We got some classes 23, some classes we was going for the 20 and lower. So that's what I was expecting for this September. Since in June, it was said at the SLT meeting, we got the small class sizes and we did so and so and so. So I would expect to see that at least happening, but it didn't. And then if you did get a teacher, it was a replacement for another teacher that was already leaving, already left, already about to go, or moving on, or whatever.
Thank you. And I'm gonna just put my email in the chat. So please email us so we could kind of get the stakeholders all involved and get your questions answered directly. But I definitely appreciate you coming with your concern, and we look forward to seeing how we could support this conversation and further the importance of the class size committee. Thank you for shouting that out a few times. We appreciate that. All right. Our next All right. Our next speaker might even have some answers to this question. But Bruce, our U of T representative.
Good evening, everyone, and hello, Quentin. It's great to be here with all of you again. Thank you to all the parents who are participating in these meetings, the principals, and I even saw some UFT chapter leaders and delegates that had been on the meeting. I don't know if they're still on, some teachers. So thank you to all of the District 28 community who stays so involved to make our district the best district in the city. I did find the last two public comments to be interesting. I do encourage them, yes, to get the information to Quentin so we can get answers and try to quell any concerns about the class size implementation that was supposed to occur. I have seen schools that have reached 100% compliance in our district. I'm not sure, about these. There may be some situations that need to be tweaked, but we need to know about them and try to fix whatever we can fix. I know a lot of people shared some great things going on in our district. Dr. Blake shared some things that were going on. Raj shared some things that were going on. Sonia, I'll share a couple of things on the UFT. And Quentin had mentioned it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The UFT always gets heavily involved in the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer campaign. And our walk is at Flushing Meadows Corona Park in support of this great campaign on Sunday, October 19th, where thousands of educators will be walking to support this very important cause. And we also raise a ton of money for it as well each year. Quentin also mentioned it's Anti-Bullying Month, and our UFT Anti-Bullying Student Conference for middle schools is taking place on October 23rd. Our middle schools have been notified, and I encourage middle school principals to send our middle school students to that event. It is always a very worthwhile event for our students. They become ambassadors for their schools to make their schools calmer and safer environments for all of our students just by attending that particular conference. And then on the class size, and the UFT has begun discussions with the DOE concerning the class size funding application process for this school year. So those talks are underway. And those are my updates. So again, thank you to everyone. And I think we've started off the year well in our schools, and we look forward to the rest of the year continuing to be great.
Thanks as always, Bruce, for your contributions, experience, and your just commitment to our district. We always appreciate you. Our next speaker, Ladaska Howell.
Oh, hi. I'm not sure if you can see me or not. Okay. My name is Adaska. I am here on behalf of Coach Denisha Phillips, and she has, hold on, shoot to start video. Okay, there we go. I don't know what's wrong with the video. Oh, this looks really weird. I don't know what's happening here. Sorry. So my name is Adaska. I am an entrepreneur here in Queens, and my partner invited me to come here. She has a financial literacy program that she is in schools all throughout NYC. And so she asked me to be here on her behalf to share about her program and how she's helping kids throughout from like K to 12 with learning about money, budgeting, finances, and things like that. I have an entrepreneurship program where we teach kids how to start a business, how to use their creativity to like make money off of their creativity. And that's also a way for economic empowerment and to keep kids engaged in and also kind of like off the streets, because when you see a lot of issues that's happening in schools, kids are, what we're noticing, a lot of kids are not just bored in school, but they don't feel safe. So if kids don't feel safe, how do they act? Sometimes irrational. Sometimes it results in skipping school or finding different way or doing drugs. They try to find a different way to cope with whatever issues that they're having. But if you give them alternatives like meditation, yoga, mindfulness, exercises that have studies have shown in other schools who have implemented things like that, they have noticed how the dropout rate has decreased, how kids getting in trouble have also decreased. And so we just kind of like come together as a partnership to offer these type of solutions to schools in Queens and NYC. I don't know why this is doing this.
Thank you, Ladaska. And please, you can always put your information in the chat for community to have as well. Our next speaker and our last speaker is Vanessa Sparks.
Good evening, CEC28. Good evening, Dr. Blake. My name is Vanessa Sparks. I'm here on behalf of the Education Committee for Community Board 12 under the leadership of Latoya LeGrand and the Community Board 12 chairperson, the Reverend Carlene Thorpe. Community Board 12 represents the communities of Jamaica, South Jamaica, Hollis, St. Albans, and Addersley Park, with the areas of Jamaica and South Jamaica falling within the confines of District 28. So I'm just here to bring greetings and also to share some information, and I hope sooner rather than later, members of the CEC will work with Community Board 12 on this. So the Jamaica rezoning plan was approved by the New York City Council today. It is slated to bring something like over the next 20 years, 100,000 new units in what they're calling the downtown Jamaica area. Areas most notable will be the areas of Liberty Avenue near PS 50, Guyborough Boulevard near PS 40, and it actually will be going as far south as 109th Avenue and Sufton Boulevard, which is closest right between PS 48 and PS 160. What that means is that this area can expect a large influx of children, which means we're going to have to address the need for new school seats. And I would hope, and I know because Community Board 12 has a phenomenal relationship with CEC28, that at some point you guys can come and speak with us. I do know there's going to be a presentation at the community board regarding this rezoning plan. And once I find out the date that city planning will be there, I will definitely let CEC28 know in advance, because I think your voices as the education representatives or supporting parents are there to ask questions on how this is going to affect D28. So as I get that information, I will provide it to you. And as always, we have a phenomenal, as I said, relationship with CEC28. We have worked together on many, many initiatives in District 28, and I just look forward to that relationship growing. Oh, one other thing, and although this kind of does not fall in your purview, it is a D28 school. I would love to see someone or a couple of someone from CEC28 come to the community board meeting regarding the new high school that's going to be on Hillside and 165th Street. There's a lot of chatter, and I don't think those conversations should take place without you guys being present. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sparks. And you are right. We do have a beautiful relationship with Community Board 12. And I look forward to having these conversations. And we had a conversation last night that I'm going to talk about a little later, but about that high school. So thank you for always bringing so much value of what's going on in our community, and the collaboration and the relationship we have is best for all of us. So thank you again, and we look forward to being more supportive and building an even better relationship as time goes on. We did have another speaker. I didn't see the rest of the list, so my apologies. But our now last speaker is our representative from Senator Leroy Comey's office, Ari Innes.
Hello, everyone. Good night. The camera isn't working so great, so I'm going to leave it off so we don't have any interruptions. But thank you so much for having me. And Senator sends his greetings. He's at an event at the moment. We look forward to always being at the CEC meeting. I just have 2 events that I want to announce. We'll be hosting a Protect Your Property event via Zoom from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on October 14th. It will cover DOF exemptions. It will cover wills, trust and estates. It will cover deed fraud, scams that you might be susceptible to, and a myriad of other things, we hope. The other event that we are co-sponsoring will be with Congressmember Grace Meng. That will be on, and I think I dropped the flyers in the chat. Yes, I did. Congressmember Grace Meng will be hosting a e-waste event on, my computer's acting slow. On October 23rd from 3 to 7 p.m. We're co-sponsoring that along with Forest Park Funeral Home, Sinai Chapels. It will be at 11403 Queens Boulevard in Forest Hills. If anyone has any further questions, please feel free to contact our office. I don't think the only thing with the e-waste event, I believe you cannot bring any like an air conditioner or anything because the Freon has to be taken out. Maybe if you take out the Freon, then they'll be able to take it out. But if you have any other questions, please feel free to call us 718-765-6359. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please put your information in the chat. Said that pretty fast. I want to make sure everybody gets it. And so we did have one more speaker. So I believe it was after the deadline. However, this is one of our great parents of our community, and she got a specific shout out for those 2 beautiful boys in Dr. Blake presentation. So we're gonna give Sasha an opportunity to bring let's see. Where are you? Hold on 1 second.
Now. Hi, I just want.
Hi, I'm
There you
Ela.
are.
Hi, I'm Evan. We are happy to be youth ambassadors and representing District 28 and PS 139.
So we just wanted to say thank you for the shout out. I actually was at an event, but was floored with all the messages. So wanted to thank you guys for being able to do that and being able to see the twins. So they were very excited. So just that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for letting us, even making this program. I'm so happy for this.
All right.
Let's do this.
Have a good night.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night. Bye-bye.
Now that was beautiful. Like that's how we need the last parent to show up. Every time we have parent section, please show up just like Sasha did with her family, with your kids, like shouting you out. Like we want to see that. Thank you. Man. All right. So now we are going to go to our council member report. I want to start with council members. It's 8:45. We got this. All right. So we know it's a school night. We know that, we're keeping you up, but we're proud and we believe in you guys and thank you for still being here. So I'm going to start with our first vice president, Lauren Clavin.
Good evening, everyone. I know Quentin said you were going to speak about the high school meeting. I just want to say briefly, we did attend a community meeting regarding that new space on Hillside. I look forward to a day where we are not discussing which schools get a beautiful new building, because it should be available to all our students, especially for high school students in Queens. There was a lot of discussion during the meeting. We definitely don't all disagree, although I feel like I can say Southeast Queens is aligned and I'm proud of that. But what we all do know is that our students deserve better than not having a space to eat comfortably. And we can do better for them. I think what we figured out is that all of us agree that we need more high school seats, and that's something that hopefully all of Queens can work together to push for. And then I have some other things to share. I sat in a meeting with our Queensborough president. I just have a quick survey I'm going to put in the chat from the Department of Youth and Community Development. They use the data from this survey to determine how their block grant funds will be distributed. So I think that's important. If it takes a couple minutes, I did it earlier. I also want to share, I sat through this presentation from an organization called the City Tutors. It's a free program where children and adults can get free tutoring. You can also sign up to be a mentor, which I think is pretty cool. If you've ever looked into tutoring for your children, you know that it's not cheap. So when I see something free, I get excited, and this seems to be good quality. So I will put that link in the chat as well. Also, it's officially high school admission season. I'm going to put those dates in the chat as well. Right now, the applications for high school, LaGuardia, and the specialized high schools, those admissions are already open. I'll put the dates where those close. Middle school admissions is also coming up. That opens up next week. I encourage you to go on My Schools to learn more about the schools. And if you look on the event calendar on that site, you'll see that there are some open houses coming up. I think Halsey's is coming up next week, and another one in the middle. You can filter it by district and by borough to see exactly the information that you're looking for all of the fairs that you can visit in person, the open houses that you can visit in person. And I'm just checking to see my notes, make sure I make all my comments. You can also please go check out, since we all care about schools, right? And we are still under the system of mayoral control, boo. It's very important that you vote in this upcoming mayoral election. I'm gonna put a link in the chat to where you can check and make sure, firstly, that this is one-stop shopping. Make sure that you are registered to vote. You can register to vote until October 25th if you are not currently registered to vote. You can do that online and in person. Check out the link that I posted in the chat. Again, mayoral election, very important for our schools, very, very important. And lastly, but not least, it is Indigenous Peoples Day on Monday. We're off from school. If you're looking for something really great to do with your kids, I did this the last couple of years. There's an event on Randall's Island. It's actually a 2-day celebration happening on the 12th and the 13th. New York City is actually home to the largest population of Indigenous people in the entire country. And this festival that they put on Randall's Island is really fabulous. It's a great learning opportunity for our kids. There's great food and music. It's a great time. I highly recommend it. And that link is in the chat. I'll put all the other links that I talked about. Thank you all so much for showing up. I appreciate you.
Thank you, First Vice President Lauren. Next, I'd like to call on our second Vice President, Jennifer Sobers.
Thank you. There were a lot of meetings and events going on in September. I'll try to just limit it to some of them. The DLT, which is the district leadership teams, is similar to the SLT here, but it's comprised of district leadership such as Dr. Blake, the superintendents, Sonia Rueda, and more. They meet, I think, the second Friday of each month. I encourage parents, as your time permits, to listen in on meetings, especially if they're on Zoom, and of different meetings that are going on in the city, so that you can get familiar with the various education policy initiatives and discussions that are going on that are affecting our youth. One of the discussions at the DLT was how to improve the communications with the constituents and the challenge to ensure families are even aware of things like the DLT or CEC, and how the DLT can be service of families, and the role of the presidents, PTA presidents in the president council meetings and their challenges. There are also, the district-wide SOT trainings, they discussed that, which Ms. Rueda mentioned, which are really helpful. I got a chance to meet with some of my liaison schools. The first one was a PS 55, which is always a pleasure to attend. I'm able to work with them for the months that I was on the last term's CEC. Very organized. One of the things I wanted to note is that a principal honore actually printed out a copy of our resolution that we passed on the internet-enabled device ban, so that the SOT members could discuss it and see it and have it and know what was going on in the school. They're using the pouches, fifth grade primarily. No parents have complained, no issues, and students have largely kept them at home, which is what I've found in other schools that I work with as well. ELA math scores are good. They're helping to get the students in the third grade adapted to the computer, taking tests on computer via the typing skills, conducting tests and writing on the computer. They have a lot of activities planned for this year: karate, art club, parent workshops as previously. They actually went over the roles and responsibilities of the SLT and the DLT, which is useful. And one thing that is really great that principals of I think successful SLTs do is to ensure that parents are involved in the SLTs and really trying to make sure parents are valued and think about what is going to be the goal of the SLT. I also got a chance to visit with PS 121 SLT, another wonderfully well run meeting. They're focusing on a lot of things, including writing. Test scores are also great. Their internet-enabled policy is going well. They're using the Yonder, mainly affecting the 3 to 5. The children, they hold up the devices, power them down. There have been no complaints there. So for those council members that were really interested in how this is being worked on in our schools, at least with those two, they've been going well. Initiatives, they do lots of great initiatives. The vocab, science of reading, their Turbobo. I got a chance to visit their school, got a chance to actually hold the Turbobo. It was nice and heavy and comforting. It was awesome. The school leadership greeted me. We had a wonderful roundtable discussion. It was pretty long because we were all long-winded. But the highlights included discussion of the G&T. I wanted to bring this up because I know a number of our council members are interested in the G&T, and that the G&T classes are larger than the general ed classes that fall under the class size mandate. That is something that the principal did engage with parents about, he thought, well, he could get rid of G&T, and that was not an option. And he understands that the importance of having options, not only in the district, but also in the the south side of the district. So right now, the parents are in a holding pattern, waiting to see. And the school is committed to making sure that all students have a great education. With both schools, I've started the capital improvements discussions. I'll save that for when we start talking about the capital improvements. One thing I did want to note is that there are community boards. I will like to discuss with Community Board 12, Ms. Sparks and others, what their process is that some community boards, including CB9, they ask schools to give them their list of their pie in the sky projects, and if they are able to, they vote on which ones they want to try to help bring forward. And to the extent that there are other community boards that do that, I'm trying to get that information out to schools. In terms of collaborating with community boards, I did get a chance to finally meet in person Ms. Sparks when I attended the Community Board 12 meeting, which was really cool. And that's also another thing I would encourage parents to, if you can, to attend. They give a lot of our elected officials have a representative to talk about different things. And also the precincts, they give their reports, which I find extremely eye-opening, especially for my precinct. I have reached out yet again to Ms. Grant for the Education Committee, which I do remember our esteemed former CEC, Simone, said that the committee meetings, education meetings were very valuable. So we're back in discussions, collaborating, and I look forward to attending the October meeting. Finally, other things that I'm keeping abreast of is the Jamaica Community Partnership, which has really helpful meetings, and also learning more about Title I, which all of my liaison schools are a part of, including also my own children's schools. So I look forward to another productive month, and I do hope that my daughter goes to Cardozo. It was concerning for me. I was very scared. And so the safety is a big concern in our district. And I think as parents, what we can do is make sure that we are constantly trying to connect with our children the best we can. I guess it gets a little bit harder as they get older and teenagers. But to see any changes that might be going on with them, try to keep lines of communication open, try to support them in any way we can. And then hopefully, that will help to stem some of this, the violence. So thank you very much, and have a wonderful night.
All right, thank you, Second Vice President. We will now go to our recording secretary, Chantel Chambers.
Good night, everyone. I will be brief. That's just in my nature to keep it short and sweet. But I was able to visit two great schools. First, I visited Jermaine L. Green STEM Institute of Queens, where I met with Dr. Emanuela Remy, the principal of that school. Seeing all of the great programs that the students are able to participate in was really inspiring. Her dual language classrooms, how it was very well structured and organized. They also have a NEST program for children that are on the spectrum. They also have this great outdoor classroom for outdoor exploration. One of the things that was a little concerning was their playground situation. their school's playground is surrounded by other playgrounds that are open to the public. And she was first told that all of the playground area is owned by New York City Parks Department. However, New York City Parks Department came and renovated all the playgrounds around it and kind of left the area that the school uses out. So there was there's some misunderstanding there, and we have to get to the bottom of that. So we are working toward that. One of the things that I saw that was great, Dr. Remy is going above and beyond from what I see to keep parents informed. Even when there was a situation where a parent had a complaint that they were not informed about their students' academic struggles, she has since implemented other ways to keep parents involved and make sure no one is falling through the cracks. I also got the great opportunity to visit PS48. That's with Principal Duvernay. And I especially like the way in which the school goes beyond it, above and beyond for the students, in that providing all of at least 13 clubs that students could get involved in, and seeing that teachers are involved in those after school clubs, going above and beyond to provide this service to the children, and catering to the whole student. So there's a lot of focus on the socio-emotional support given to the students, giving them time if they need time and space to decompress if they need during the class time, and providing them with the spaces and opportunities to do that. So yes, those were the two great schools that I got to visit, and I look forward to visiting more of my schools.
Thank you, Chantel, Recording Secretary. Next, we have our Treasurer, Alicia Bauer.
Good evening, everybody. My report consists of visiting one school. It is Halsey Junior High School 157. My visit was very recent on September 26th. The school has a good quality snapshot report. And the principal, Ancona Lisa, is very involved in community life and her school's life, of course. She's very knowledgeable and welcoming. And she shared that the school takes quite a bit of students, and this year they're quite full because they get so many applications. They try to take as many students as possible, and the classes are very full. So there's still a wait list of 1,000 students hoping to get in the school. So far, that problem cannot be solved. The packed classes are already pretty full, and the wait list may not will not go down because they only filled 4 spots from the wait list. Overall, the school has high ratings in instruction and performance. The rating is excellent. Safety and school climate is excellent. The relationship with families is good. 94% of families responded positively to a survey. Questions about communication and family school trust, that 95% of all believes it's great. The school the school is not accessible school. There at least 2 entrances to school that I saw. In the main entrance, and none of the others have ability for handicapped or even strollers to enter the school. All entrances have stairs outside and inside of the building. This is something that the principal would like to address and at least add accessibility at the front entrance. So that could be a question of capital expenditures that could be reviewed before the end of the year with CEC, and also the principal has her own channels to work with the central DOE to get funding and construction projects that they can start outside of CEC help. I saw quite a bit of classrooms of different kinds, and I was very surprised or pleasantly. Probably we should not be surprised when we see everything being good, but I saw quiet, nurturing, collaborative environment in all of the classrooms. It was pleasant and impressive. The questions that are raised by parents still is quality of food in school, length of the break, which is only 41 minutes for recess, and access to outdoor areas during that time. And the other part that the principal is working on, the PTA is not maybe at the fullest participation this year. It happens often when the senior parents leave and PTA needs to be reestablished. Also, the PTA does not have its own room. And that, in my opinion, as a PTA president for many years, the PS 117, while the chancellor's regulations does not require schools provide PTA team with any kind of office or a room, the ones who can see a big difference in engagement of the parent leaders because they have a place to plan, to store, to meet, and the principal is considering, she already found the space that will be giving to PTA, just needs to be cleaned up and be prepared for them. The second event is I attended Chancellor's Melissa Aveles Ramos, the annual State of Our Schools address on September 29th. And the report overall shows improvement and our students being on grade level in math by 3% and English language arts by 8% in the city. While it might appear as a small progress, especially 3%, the chancellor believes she hopes and believes that this is a first step of a positive trend. And if it continues soon enough, we will see more significant improvements. She also introduced some new programs and or initiatives. One of them is involving parents in our schools community that do not speak English at all. And there was a representation of Spanish-speaking community that there was a parent leader who doesn't speak English at all, and she's very active. And the new initiatives to bring parent ambassadors to schools that can be liaisons in the community, institute with non-English speakers, as well as children with disabilities or any other communities. She introduced a tool that anybody can review and sign up. It is called the accountability tool. I just put it in chat if you want to click on the link and take a look. And lastly, I want to give a shout out to our administrative assistant, Dorinda. She's behind the scenes, and our president, Quentin, for training me as a treasurer this month, spending quite a bit of time with hands-on training and being patient and kind to onboard me on my job. So thank you to both of them. And that's all I got.
Oh, shucks. You're awesome, Alicia. All right, next is Councilmember Luz Lau.
This month, for the two school I was liaison on, I attended a SLT meeting for PS 54. Principal Hanley was very supportive to our CC. She always on, she speak earlier, she always on the CC, and she actually promote CC on the SLT, meetings, say, you should, join, and there's a lot of information, we should, and she opened this Zoom link pretty much just for me because I'm the only one that I actually need to join by Zoom. So it was really accommodating. I'm gonna visit the school tomorrow. Wish know more, and also visit 03. And was a very interesting school. Just in my own neighborhood. I've never been inside the school, but this is the first time. The acting principal, Sabaras, right? I hate to butcher her name a little bit. But yeah, so she was wonderful. Just I think this situation is a little bit similar to Halsey. The older long serving principal retired, and the new principal is someone has been there for a very long time and been through all the process, very familiar with everything was done right, in the school, and the community very supported. It was, it make it a smooth transaction. And she was there like 18 years since the, start of the school. So that's a very, a positive thing. And also we touched base on the small size issue. I think earlier there's a parent speak of this thing, like they actually have 100 seat for the kindergarten, which is 4 class that does not meet the new standard. She was saying, like we asked if we can just go down to 80 and make it, apply to the class size. The problem is then, you take away, the seats won't, be available. They're not a zone school, so they kind of absorb any student that can go to their zone school or, in that neighborhood to reduce the burden for other surrounding schools. So the issue is, like the district need to have that kind of a level of capacity, so they have to take more in. So this is, I think, in general term, my understanding. I mean, last year we discussed this. I mean, nobody against small size. The problem is what is the top priority, right? So you don't want kids go out of the zone or go far away just because you need to, maintain the small size compliance. Because if you, let's say you have nine, I think she mentioned like 9 more students for that school. So if you have that number of students, they are not going to open a new class because they don't have the teachers, don't have the room. So those are things, I think, again, I always think it should have some kind of flexibility, right? So what if you take 9 more students and make it slightly more per class than the standard? What kind of procedure put in to allow this kind of thing to just accommodating the families, the need? So they can be really just, like, what is the priority, right? Serving the community, serving the student, it's much more than just get the number, down and say we're done that, So this, I think that one thing I want to, stress on. And before I visit the school, as you know, the parents in the community that I have a connect to, there's group of Chinese, like we have like group chat for the 303 and all other schools. They have some issues that we bring to the principal. We discuss. There's another thing is it's not every school the same in terms of budget, right? There's a lot of factors involved that. One side is the money coming in. So a lot of parents don't understand this. So how many students they have, they will allocate the money based on that, and also based on what kind of student they have. So if you have a student have a special budget item line, then you get more. So you can see some school per student, I see as many as like $40,000, $50,000 a student. But on average, it's about 20 something per student. And on a regular school, it's about 10,000. So the gap is crazy. Think about like Stevenson. Last year there's $11,000 per student. Well, the average is 21,000 per student. Well, that's because the Stevenson students are more likely not, ELL, not IEP, not fall behind, obviously, right? So those are the items they will have more budget add into it. Of course, there's more cost come with those students. So and in CEC's case, there's another factor is how much money you spend. This is one side is come in, it's not come out. And because CEC have a more senior teacher pool, that make them have to spend more on salary. Because the teacher goes on the schedule, they come in the first year, how much money, and then the salary increase on the top. So if you have a pool of senior teacher, they have 10 year, 20 year experience, which is very good, but then they spend more. So that gap is actually pretty huge. I think it's for CEC's case, they are like about 20% more than other schools on that alone. That means they don't have money for everything else. So some parents ask me, why can't we have as many field trip like 196? 196 has a lot of field trip. My kids went there. I know that, like this is one kind of stable thing for their school. So it doesn't have that many. It's one of the problems, right? They don't have as much resources because of all those things. Yeah, that's why I hope, like we know more and, get those things better. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Liu. Zhao. Next, we have Councilmember Annie Cope.
Thank you, Quentin. I have 3 things to share, really quick. Thank you, by the way, for letting me sit in for you for the IEP meeting at 206. I had the great opportunity to meet the team there, and we're able to sit into the meeting on the other end of it, which is basically me being in the meeting with my child for almost like he's almost 12 now, but I've been sitting in on IEP meetings since he was 4. So on the other end, I'm a fly on the wall watching the parents connect with the other team members, the teachers. And I think it was a few other representatives there, but I mostly looked at the parents' faces. I know they want the facts for their kids, but also I could see the emotional roller coaster as the meeting goes on, because I see the concern on their faces. And that's what I noticed the most, is that they love that child. They want the best for that child. And I really empathize with that. I just want to say that when I left the meeting, I put my contacts in the email, hoping that if they had any questions and any kind of support, that we would be there for them. And that's what happened. For the IEP meeting, the next thing I prioritized was PS 220. Wanted to connect with the principal there to meet. Haven't gotten back yet, but I think, interesting enough, I knew some parents who were already there, and apparently an SLT member also contacted me on the side, asking for help, which is interesting because that they had run into some issues, communication issues there, and I thought, well, what better thing to do to just go to the meeting and show up there next month? And she said, please come if you can. And I think I might have to check in to see if I could just be invited or not. Just have to get permission beforehand. This is be interesting to sit in, and it's an in-person meeting, so I will show up if I can to hear out the different issues and concerns that the parents have. PS220, interesting enough, is on the edge of Forest Hills, almost pushing into Corona, a Title I school, and yet having G&T on top of that, which is not a lot of people know about. So the school itself right now, I had some data pulled up from the state. At some point 10 years ago, they had 655 students at its max at 2015 data, but now dropping to almost 563. That's a huge drop. And I looked at the demographic breakdown and also saw that groups were represented there, but also a big drop in a few categories, which I'm in discussion with SLT member there. I hope to continue discussion beyond that to include the principal as well, where I will make a visit. Moving on would be the last thing on October would be to visit PS 161 with Principal Jill Hoder. She was very responsive. Thank you very much, Principal Hoder, for letting me visit your school. And she is looking forward, I'm looking forward to meeting her and hopefully, you know, see how their Halloween decorations are going in, because I love the children's work and having their artwork out the month before Halloween is so exciting to see. It's different every time. So looking forward to many more visits. And yeah, that's what I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie. Hitting the ground running. Next, we have our council member, Kenya Townsend.
Sure. Good evening, everyone. Mine will be really short. As you all know, I just started about a month ago. And so I was able to attend a couple of meetings. I'm trying to get my feet wet and talk to some folks. So I did meet with Dorinda and also Quentin just to talk some things about what I should know so I can make sure I'm doing this effective. I did send emails to all of my schools to ensure that I'm in contact with them so I can set up school visits. And some I had just missed some of their SLT meetings, and I'm awaiting the calendar events so I can make sure that I do visit, and I'm hoping to get that done within the next 2 weeks. I also did attend virtually the Queen's President's Council meeting because, again, I just wanted to get some more information about sort of what is going on as the other Queensborough president appointee. We also got together with some of the other appointees, and that was really enlightening. And I'm also planning to attend some of the other district meetings just to see how things are going in our run there. So I'm excited to see what that is going to bring about. I also had the pleasure of attending the Chancellor's State of Our Schools event. So that was really wonderful to see what the theme is for this year and also to see some of the neighboring districts within Queens South. So I thought that was really wonderful. And I'm just looking forward to continuing to see some of the things that are going on. There are some upcoming meetings that I'm looking forward to hearing about. I know one thing in the mayoral race that people are talking about is the gifted and talented versus you know, in the specialized schools. So I'm also looking forward to seeing how people in the community feel about that so we can think about a plan and what that looks like, since we know we will have a new mayor. So looking forward to that. And that is all that I have. Thank you.
And that was a lot. I know. That was good. All right. So thank you, council members. I just want to highlight in the fastest way I can. I started off this year with the buses not picking up my children. And of course, I was pissed. When I say pissed, I mean the organization that was started D75, which is parents to improve student transportation. And I also mean it the other way too. However, I didn't just stop there. We can't just stop when something doesn't go our way. We have to fight. So the next week, I was at Tweed Courthouse with D75, strategizing on how we're going to make this impact in the busing and where do we want to hit them? Where it counts in their funds. So then I found myself that evening at the PEP meeting with our PEP representative, Adriana Alicia, who's always fighting for us, on them voting on what that contract needs to look like for these busings, for these busing companies, so they could be held accountable for all the mishaps they're having all around the city consistently. So we couldn't come up with a vote because we're still working on that contract. So it's been pushed to the next meeting. But that's a good sign because they didn't just accept the same thing that they've been accepting this whole time. And they know we're serious. So it was really good to see people from all over the boroughs come to this PEP meeting right here at Francis Lewis High School to just share their concerns on how we can make our community better. So I was really excited to just be there for that. And I also wanted to just tap in on Annie's IEP meeting. I was in those emails and I saw the response, and I don't know if she gave enough light to it. The family, the school really showed so much appreciation and praise to Annie on how she developed that relationship and showed up for that family at that IEP meeting. Like she was phenomenal and they needed that. They felt empowered, they felt encouraged, and they loved the support that they got from the CEC. So thank you for showing up, Annie. You did that. Fist bump. And I went to Queens Gateway PTA meeting, and when I go to these meetings, I don't just talk about the CEC. I actually have a slideshow presentation I put together just because why not? We like slides. So I do a presentation for the CEC, who we are, what we do, the difference between us, the PTA and the SLT, and how we address things differently and how we're all super in our own way, and how if they need support, what they can do and what channels they can use. And next time I have one of those meetings, I'll invite you guys so you can see how I do it. It's pretty fun. And yeah, that's it. Just having fun in the background, going to the trainings that FLC has and that the district has, CPAC has, and just staying in tune to what's going on. And finally, yesterday, attending the meeting that they brought up about the new school on Hillside. And just to sum that up, it just didn't make sense to me that a school that's in D28 with another school that's in D28, Queens High School for Sciences, that's struggling at, no, not struggling, let me change that, that's being harassed in every way possible at York College and discriminated against because of that relationship. And we know this. This is not alleged. We won't just give them a building where they can thrive in a better environment. And that school is thriving. In these horrible circumstances, the school is thriving. So only thing I was there for was wondering why are other districts trying to take the school for their own, and it's on our zoning. It's our school. So you're coming to our yard to take our school to call it yours and leaving our school to suffer where we can use it better. So that's the only part that I kind of summed it up. Of course, there's all these other logistics and all these other fans. However, yes, other districts want the school that's in our district to be their school and let our students in our districts suffer, simply put. And we can't have that. So we got to voice up and stand up. And I was able to share that opinion. And I want to say it was mostly supported. So that's just kind of that. And I look forward to the follow-ups on all of these things that we talked about. But thank you. And that was our last report and update. Before we adjourn, is there anything else that we want to cover, council members? Oh, and right now I want to make sure I give the Spanish line. Is there any request from the Spanish line, Spanish interpreters?
There's no comment on the Spanish line.
Oh,
Sorry, there's no comments.
oh, yes. What she say? Somebody need to respond to? Oh, before we go, I'm gonna make sure Vanessa Sparks, you had a quick answer. How do I get you? There you are.
Thank you so much, President Quick. And I'm so glad you said
Ms.
that.
Sparks?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
wait.
Can you
Hold
hear
on.
me?
Go ahead.
Anybody that knows me knows I'm going to speak truth to power. In January of 2025, after a conversation with school planning, where they tossed out the idea of the new HBCU high school going into that building, I made it very clear that I absolutely would not support it. I'm absolutely in support of the new HBCU high school. However, right is right. Queens High School of the Sciences is in District 28. And I said to them, and I quote, all hell will break loose if they put that school in that building. You are not going to put another school in a new school building in this district, and we are in need of high school seats here. I said, I told them, I said, you must not be familiar with District 28 because they're going to bring the fire if you try that. I am going to, it's so funny you talk about this because this is going to be discussed at the next community board meeting next week. I have made it very clear. Although I have my own issues with the Queens High School of Sciences, they are located in Community Board 12, but they have never reached out to Community Board 12 about anything. It's only been in the past maybe 3 months because of this issue with the building. So I personally have my issues with them. Most of the students in that school do not live in CB12, but that is besides the point. The school is in District 28, the new building is in 28, and they should go into that building. Because the moment you start trying to move goalposts, you cannot then turn around later when it comes to bite you. Right is right. It's a D28 school. The building is a D28 school. That school should go there. I have no problem with calling names because I'm not afraid of anybody. I had this conversation in January of 2025 where they, and I'm going to put in air quote, discuss possibly putting that new school there. I then further asked them about, well, why would they do that when we got Yeka still sitting in the middle school 8 building? But after a discussion with some parents from Yeka, they said they did not want to go into that new building. So I'm not going to fight for you if that's not what you want. But what I do know that any school that goes in that building had better be a school that's in District 28. I stand with D28, and as I told them, all hell will break loose if they put another, especially a brand new school. It's not going to go well for them.
Thank you as always. And on that note, this meeting is 9:34 and this meeting is adjourned. Thank you. We will now take a 10-minute break, and actually let's take a 6-minute break so we can come back as soon as possible to start our business meeting. Can we turn on the recording, please? Oh, the recording's on. Okay. Thank you. The time is now 9:43. We're going to start our business section of our meeting. Recording secretary, please do roll call. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we have first Vice President Lauren Clavin. Present. Second Vice President Jennifer Sobers.
Present.
Recording Secretary Chantal Chambers is present. Treasurer Alicia Bauer is present. Lou Zhao is here. He was also here for our calendar meeting, came in a little later. Dean Colbert, absent. Annie Koch.
Present.
Amin El-Rumim, absent. Kenya Townsend.
Present.
And President Quentin Mezitin.
Present. Thank you, Recording Secretary. Next on our agenda is we're going to discuss absentee forms by our first Vice President.
We had one absence last month. The person that was absent, did not has not contacted us for an excusal. So unless there are any objections, I would say that absence is not going to be excused.
Is that a motion?
Make a motion not to excuse that absence.
A second. All right. So just want to highlight that for September's meeting and October's meeting, Amin has not contacted us or notified us in any way of the absence, and we've reached out to him. Dorinda has reached out to him. Faith has reached out to him. Myself and other council members have reached out to him, and we have not gotten any response. And that's why we're not excusing this absence, but we're also taking note. We got to follow up with this. Next on our agenda is Recording Secretary on adopting our council meeting minutes.
Here are the minutes for our last calendar meeting. This has already been sent out to the other council members, and I move that the minutes be approved. Give me 1 second.
Second.
Thank you.
No problem. And I want to also make note that council member Dean Colbert, he has formally resigned. I just want to make that note. So since he resigned, that's why we have 3 open spaces, vacancies on our council. And now, I'd like to make a motion that us council members, we enter a different room to make an executive and have an in-person executive session where we can discuss the candidates, the forum that we just had, and we can make our decision and then come back out here with our decision on our new council members.
Second.
All right, we have seconds. And also, do you guys mind if we invite our FACE representative, Mika and Dorinda, with us?
Yes.
Okay. Who's still here? Thank you. Okay. We're now returning from our executive session. We will now be taking our vote. Recording Secretary.
Starting with. We're taking a vote on.
So we're gonna start with Keita Williams.
We're now voting on Paquita Williams. First Vice President Lauren Clavin.
Yes.
Second Vice President Jennifer Sobers.
Yes.
Recording Secretary Chantal Chambers. Yes. Treasurer Alicia Bauer.
Yes.
Lou Zhao.
Yes.
Annie Koch.
Yes.
Kenya Townsend.
Yes.
President Quentin Mezitin,
Yes.
and Amin Romeen is absent. Okay.
Now. Okay, so we have 8 votes for Paquita Williams. Congratulations. You have been elected to be part of the District 28 CEC Council. And congratulations. Next candidate, we have Lori Garcia.
So now we're placing our vote for Lori Garcia. First Vice President Lauren Clavin. Yes. Second Vice President Jennifer Sobers.
Yes.
Recording Secretary Chantal Chambers. Yes. Treasurer Alicia Bauer.
No.
Lou Zhao.
No.
Annie Koch.
Yes.
Kenya Townsend.
No.
Thank you. And President Quentin Mezitin.
Yes.
All right. That we have 5 votes.
All right, so we have 5 votes. So in order to be elected into the council, you need 7 votes. So unfortunately, at this time, we will have to not elect Lori into the council because we need a total of 7 votes. Next candidate, GK.
And now we have First Vice President Lauren Clavin.
No.
Second Vice President Jennifer Sobers.
Abstain.
Recording Secretary Chantal Chambers. No. Treasurer Alicia Bauer.
No.
Lou Zhao.
Yes.
Annie Koch.
No.
Kenya Townsend.
No.
And President Quentin Mezitin.
Yes.
We have 2 votes.
So we did not make 7 votes. So right now we cannot elect GK into the council, and that is finalizing our votes for the open vacancies. So that leaves our council with 2 open vacancies that we will be posting up on our website. So anyone wants to reapply, please do. And we will be leaving these seats open for anyone who can qualify to meet the requirements and sign up for these vacancies. So thank you for your time, candidates. We do appreciate it and the value you bring with your commitment. And I just want you to don't give up. And please reach out and still support your community in all the ways possible. In the meantime, look out for those openings that will be posted. Now, council members, with the time that we have here, it is 10:40. I would like to make a motion to table the CEC 28 budget modification and the CEC 28 principal legislative breakfast discussion until our next meeting, where we'll be better with time.
Second.
Thank you, Lauren, Vice President, for seconding that. And with that, does anyone have any other business that they want to bring up? I will take that as everybody's tired and wants to go to bed. The time is now 10:40. Meeting is adjourned.
Nice.